But first, about like an hour, 2 hours into the party, it's time for the eulogies, right? The theme of the party is death of my 20s. It's supposed to be a funeral. And 4 people were asked to make a eulogy. Excuse me, 5. Connor, LilyPichu, Slime, Nick, and Aiden. Basically, they all would get up to the mic, cut the music. They would say some words to me. Really, they would say some words about me as if I was dead. And then it'd move on to the next person. So Cutie takes the mic. She says, hey, everyone, quiet down. It's time for the eulogies. And up first is Connor, right? Sea-Dog. And everyone quiets down, with the exception of TenZ, who is loudly telling people right by the bar about an awesome new flavor of soju he has just discovered. Now, he proceeds to engage in this conversation throughout all 5 eulogies in a way that is unavoidably loud enough for every participant in the room to listen to. But that boy's won 2 masters, so we give him the pass. Anyway, Connor goes up, grabs a mic, and Connor forgot he was supposed to do this. He genuinely forgot. Cutie told him like a week ago that he had to write a eulogy. He totally forgot. He's been busy with AX, whatever. She reminded him a couple hours before he has asked ChatGPT to write this eulogy for him. He hops up on the microphone, and I thought it would be bad. The actuality is it was worse than I thought it could be. Because the first thing he says is he lifts up his drink and he goes, Ludwig enabling me again. I'm like, Connor, what are we doing? I haven't had a drink. I've had nobody. I've asked, what are we doing? And I want to yell at him, but there's not even a silence to speak through, because while he's doing that, you just hear TenZ going like, bro, I'm on my 5th. You tell me what it tastes like. And I'm like, oh my God, it's nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Anyway, he goes through some very sweet stories. We hug. And then the next person goes up for the eulogy. And it's LilyPichu. Now, if you don't know much about mine and LilyPichu's relationship, it is not one of love. It's not rooted in mutual understanding, empathy. It is rooted in an equal love that we both have for Michael Reeves. It is our true uniter. We both love Michael Reeves dearly. And I don't know if she's ever said a nice thing about me. And I thought the eulogy might change that until she started speaking. Her first words, I always thought Ludwig was an insufferable piece of shit. And I still think that. None of this is a eulogy. If I was genuinely dead, that's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to make some shit up. She proceeds to spend about 4 minutes just kind of roasting me. She brings up my League gameplay, my CS2 gameplay, my old age. She keeps saying now that I'm 30, she actually views us as equals, which is making me realize our entire relationship, she's viewed me as less than equal. She wraps up the speech. We do not hug after her speech. Then Nick gets up. Now, Nick, I was not prepared for his eulogy because I didn't know what he was going to say. Nick proceeds to spend about 5 minutes in detail explaining the way that I died so that this funeral is now happening. He created a fake universe because we're suspending our disbelief. People are giving me eulogies. It's death in my 20s. He's extending that to I am actually dead. And this is how I actually died. And I don't remember the whole thing perfectly. To be honest, I think some of it might be on tape. Cutie vlogged some of it. So if I can find some, I'll try to put it in a video. But I'll give you just a little piece. Universal Studios Japan. That was the last time we saw Ludwig. When he dove head first into a hyper realistic animatronic Nami from One Piece figure with hyper realistic breathtaking breasts. His last words were, she's real, as he was getting twisted by the metal, trying to combine his face with her bosom. He spent 5 minutes doing that. I gave you like a 30-second preview. He spent 5 minutes talking about how I died diving in to an animatronic in Japan that's hyper realistic that killed me. You should have seen Kelby. He was in tears. And I was watching all these eulogies right next to Leslie and Tina. And Leslie, the theater kid she is acting as if I'm actually dead, even though I'm right next to her. So she keeps like responding to the people giving the eulogy as if I'm not there. So, she'll hear Nick's eulogy about me diving into Nami's breast from One Piece. It should be like, he always was so dumb. And then Tina was just offering backup. Yes, he was dumb. He would do something like that. We'll never be able to tell him he was dumb for that. No, we won't. And I'm sitting there like, guys, I'm here. And then Tina would be like, man, I just feel like there's something in the wind today. I keep hearing something. They do this for all 5 eulogies. So I basically just have to sit there fucking twiddling my thumbs because nobody is talking to me and tank all the eulogies that are being shared. And the next one was slime, which kind of threw the crowd off a bit because he went into detail about how we met. And if you don't know, me and Slime met the first time playing a Super Smash Brothers money match where I beat him. That was our first time meeting. Our second time meeting, we played a game of Mafia and I showed him my asshole. And he then proceeded to show me his big droopy balls. And he's running the asshole droopy ball story in front of everyone there. And I don't think I've seen the facial expression from Lacey ever before until Slime said, and I showed him my big droopy balls. And it was a mixture of confusion, maybe, disgust, intrigue. It was really a mixture. Your mom was there? Yeah, she was. My mom was there. She stayed. She was there the entire time. Also listening to this. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Yep. And then finally, Aiden went up. And if you guys don't know Aiden, Aiden's a little softy. Aiden once did a yard episode by himself and managed to cry. It's been rumored that, I forget which airline, but one of the airlines' safety feature video brought him to tears. He kept saying the acting was incredible. So he gets up there, and I had intel from Zipper3, his girlfriend, that he was rigorously practicing his speech that day. And he starts to talk about me through his lens. Some things that we even saw in the video earlier from Golf Cart about, me wanting to make the yard to get my friends rich, and about, how I like to, or I at least find joy in trying to help people in my life, give people I love jobs, retire my mother. And he gives a very sweet speech. I won't try to paraphrase it too much because I'd butcher it, but he does end it by saying, I hope for the rest of my 20s to be a little bit more like Ludwig, which, if you're going to ask me, the last time I cried is that moment. And we get a nice little hug with Aiden. It was very sweet. And also something I thought a lot about that day, coincidentally, like before this ever happened. Because I think that was a core tenet of my 20s, is like, I have this level of success. What brings me more joy than getting more success or more money for my personal income is being able to share this with people I love, retiring my mother, supporting my sister, getting jobs for my friends, putting my friends in positions to succeed, stuff like that. But in my 30s, I realized I think that's not enough. And I think it's good, mind you. Like, there's value. Money helps people find security. It helps people pursue things they want to pursue. But I've spent a lot of time working, and I realize I compensate by using resources I have, money, influence, to help people around me. But what's way more important than that stuff is using my time. And I think you guys probably understand that intrinsically, if you think of your own friendships. What's probably a lot better than getting a really nice gift from a friend is like receiving a phone call when you need it. This isn't me saying I'm going to retire. I'm not leaving. It's more so a shift that I'm trying to make of being more thoughtful for friends in my life and family in my life. And instead of using money as the mechanism to show appreciation or love, using my energy, because I think that means so much more. And I think I've made those conscious efforts a little bit, but it's just about, continuing to do that, fine tuning it, and then also doing it in a way that's like sustainable with work. I think that's what I truly want. So you won't show up to the yard 20 minutes late anymore? Let's not get carried away. I'm still me, all right? I'm still going to be late to shit. And let me tell you, I think every eulogy mentioned that. It's just about reaffirming, what is important and putting energy and time into the important things. That's really it.